Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Closing schools? It's on the table after Monroe County school leaders released a report this week on enrollment and demographics.
You look at a utilization percentage that is as low as yours, you have to assume that there would be opportunity to close some schools.
One thing that's for certain is the merger of Childs and Templeton elementary schools won't happen this fall. Two major tech park developments are in the planning stages for the west side of Ellettsville.
It also provides some additional housing to help support the employment in the tech park, though they're not going to be exclusive.
More on the timeline for the projects and how they fit into Ellettsville's vision for the future. And faith leaders are grappling with how to support death row prisoners, with executions expected to resume under the Trump administration. These stories and more right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Monroe County School District leaders are pressing pause on a plan to merge Childs and Templeton elementary schools next fall. At their meeting this week, school trustees said it made more sense to wait until the district completed a redistricting study. As Ethan Sandwise reports, the potential merger has been controversial, in part because parents say the district was rushing it through without recognizing the impact on students.
The potential merger has been controversial, in part because parents say the district was rushing it through without recognizing the impact on students. The school board voted in February to study the population for redistricting, with an eye towards balancing the county's economically segregated schools. The results presented to them Tuesday made them pump the brakes.
I'm not comfortable with a 2025 timeline.
Interim Superintendent Marquay Winston presented 4 options for balancing socioeconomic equality and merging Templeton and Childs based on community engagement and the population report. A full merger of Childs and Templeton for fall 2025, a phased merger in fall 2025, a full merger in 2026, or a phased merger for fall 2026.
I think what appealed to members of our team, of all of these, we knew that we could do all of these options. But what we also heard from our families and from the teachers were concerns about students making multiple transitions. And we do know that that is a challenge, and we know what the research says about the multiple transitions.
Parents who spoke with WTIU generally support the delay.
I'm in between with it. I mean, it's okay for the merger. It's just more convenient for my child, of course, to stick with the same teacher.
The board didn't vote on the change at its meeting. The study also found that some elementary schools are operating below optimal enrollment, and population decline could make inefficiencies worse. Following the consultant's advice, the district may consider more than just merging 2 schools.
When you look at a utilization percentage that is as low as yours, you have to assume that there would be opportunity to close some schools.
Smith recommended closing urban schools such as Childs and Templeton first to improve transportation efficiency. That could save a lot of money, but it might mean a lot of students transferring. April Hennessy, MCCSC's board president, says she wants to avoid multiple moves for students.
I had that reaction as well to think, well, no, we can't close our schools, right? We love our schools and we, but I do understand what you're saying. I do understand that it is not a problem that looks like it's going to resolve itself.
A decision on the route for the merger was set for December. Board members also agreed they needed to extend the timeline and would likely amend the deadline at their December meeting. For Indiana Newsdesk with Benta Boutier, I'm Ethan Sandweiss.
Earlier this month, we told you about a tech park planned in the town of Ellettsville. The town council rezoned nearly 350 acres of farmland near State Road 46 west of Ellettsville as light industrial, allowing buildings related to manufacturing and technology. Now there's another proposal that would cover almost 250 acres. Isabella Visperini joins us now from the newsroom to explain this latest plan.
This tech park would be on the west side of Ellettsville, near Smithville's headquarters. The property is owned by the head of Smithville, Darby McCarty. The proposal calls for a mix of manufacturing, retail, and office space, as well as homes and apartments.
It would be built here off State Road 46 and south of West Chafin Chapel Road. It's not as far along as the other tech park. It still needs to go through the rezoning process. Developers want to make the area its own sort of community. Plans call for housing, office space, possibly a warehouse, retail space, and businesses, such as a bank and restaurants. The residential area will include a variety of housing options.
So you can start out as a young professional in an apartment, move up to a single family, small starter home, single family residence, get to that estate residential phase, and then eventually, if you want to downsize in retirement, go back and stay in the townhomes.
While some of the housing will help support the tech park, Moss says none of the lots will be exclusive to employees. The development will have 66 acres for a nature preserve and recreation area.
The development will be built in phases. The first phase consists of building a convenience area with commercial spaces, such as a supercenter and other shops. The tech park portion of the development will potentially have an electronics lab space. The second phase focuses on single-family lot and estate residential spaces, and the third will feature multifamily residential with both apartments and townhomes.
So, Isabella, where's the project right now?
It has to go to planning and zoning.
Okay, so we have this tech park and the other one you reported on a couple weeks ago. Can you explain how they're different and similar?
Yes, so it's still unclear how many jobs each tech park would create, but the second one is more geared towards a mixed-use development community. Besides just having a technology sector, they're also incorporating restaurants, shops, and homes. The first tech park I reported on a few weeks ago seems to be more technology-driven, but the town still hasn't released much information about what that tech park could look like yet, which citizens are concerned about. We won't know any information about possible tenants until the developers break ground and start building.
So these are two huge projects in works at the same time. So two questions. How does it fit into Ellettsville's long-range goals and planning, and can Ellettsville support all this growth?
These projects are somewhat related to the Envision Ellettsville plan, which does aim to grow the town. While both projects add job opportunities, the plan doesn't involve anything related to annexation. The first land for the first tech park was annexed earlier this year. The second, most recent tech park was annexed in 2007. It is geared more towards adding new shops, restaurants, and homes, which the Envision Ellettsville plan focuses more on. The town is preparing for this growth. Their population has increased 4.3% in the last decade, and they've been building more residences to account for all these people. There is also a lot of space available on the outskirts of Ellettsville for the town to grow.
All right, thanks Isabella for your reporting. Look forward to learning more as these projects progress. Well, we're joined now by Clayton Baumgart for more headlines from around the state. Hi, Clayton.
Hey, Joe. Republicans maintain their supermajority at the State House and control of all major state offices in this month's general election. Legislative leaders gathered at the State House this week for swearing-in ceremonies and discussed their priorities. Pat Bean has this report.
Indiana legislative leaders say they likely won't enact transformative changes to the state's tax system in the 2025 legislative session. Lawmakers have been studying the tax code for 2 years, an effort initially aimed at potentially eliminating the income tax. But Senate Republicans say the focus has shifted largely to property taxes.
I don't know that you'll see really big changes happen this year, maybe some tweaks to kind of help people feel a little less of a pinch than they have.
House Democratic leaders say any property tax changes that affect local governments will create calls for replacement revenue.
We're going to take away from one, how do we replace it to make sure local governments can function the way they need to?
House Republican leaders say the 2-year study of the tax code revealed why big changes aren't necessarily required.
We are attracting people, we're attracting investment. Part of the reason we've done that is a lot of the reason we've done that is we've got a great tax system, a stable tax system, a reliable tax system.
The legislative session begins in January. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Pat Bean.
The Monroe County Democratic Party met for the first time since the general election. Despite clinching county races, party members lamented losses in state and national elections. Democrats captured less than a third of the vote for Indiana's District 9 congressional seat, which includes Monroe County. It's currently held by Republican Aaron Houchin.
That's something we're going to have to look at. Maybe there is a baseline in our district that we really don't move more than 30-something% in the very gerrymandered 9th district that we live in. We have 3 different candidates that have 3 very different looks over a 6-year cycle.
Tim Peck, who challenged Houchin in District 9, received slightly fewer votes than the previous 2 Democratic candidates, despite raising nearly 3 times as much as they did. Following the results of the state and national elections, abortion rights advocates say they are afraid of how access to reproductive care may be affected. Indiana implemented its near-total abortion ban more than a year ago, but the concern now is that the state could implement even more restrictions on birth control and abortion.
We've already seen an uptick among folks reaching out to receive long-term options, LARCs like IUDs. We know that folks are stocking up on emergency contraceptives.
Bowers says advocates are also watching for potential national efforts to limit Title IX and Medicaid funding, which could mean less access to family planning services, cancer screenings, and STI testing for people with lower incomes. Architects are fine-tuning the site plan in the final design phase of the Monroe Convention Center expansion. That includes adding wider sidewalks on 3rd Street corners that will decrease in size, allowing a median for a bus drop-off area. The Capital Improvement Board president will select a new facility name, subject to the review by the mayor and president of the county commissioners. After 6 years of planning, work on Bloomington's Bicentennial Gateway on the north side of Miller Showers Park is finally completed. The horizontal limestone gateway was redesigned after public feedback criticized a vertical model a year ago. The gateway will have its lights turned on for the first time tonight. The College and Walnut Street crossover near the sign was reopened earlier this week.
So I'm really happy to have that back open, especially given all the construction we've been seeing in town, and hopefully relieve some pressure on some people who are able to use that route again.
And Joe, a total of $1.5 million was earmarked for the project, which is good because I live right next to there. Now I can take my route home that I usually take.
And not too far from there, 45, 46, back to 2 lanes each direction, too.
Things are looking
good news. Thanks, Clayton. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. Federal executions are expected to resume under a new Trump administration, and faith leaders are sharing their concerns about how to support death row prisoners. And IU's undefeated football team is drawing extra attention to the university and Bloomington. This weekend, the Hoosiers face their stiffest challenge. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
Today's the day.
You're home.
It's a celebration.
Here we go. No one can say I don't have accomplished daughters.
We need more fun in our family.
It's just like a real blessing.
Look at this spread.
That's good.
Your heart gets so full that you think it's gonna burst.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. President-elect Donald Trump's return to office is putting a spotlight on the U.S. Penitentiary in Terre Haute, which houses federal death row. And as George Hale reports, here in Bloomington, a small community of death row spiritual advisors is struggling to support the prisoners to whom they minister and each other.
Ross Martini-Eiler tries to lead a simple life tuning pianos part-time. That's by design. Years ago, he made a commitment to voluntary poverty.
So I just spend part-time tuning pianos as a way of bringing in income to support our family.
which is great. I love it.
Eiler is a Mennonite, and he also serves as a lay Episcopalian minister to incarcerated people.
So I have the blessing and the burden of spending lots of time with lots of people who've got a lot of baggage. We all have lots of baggage, but some people's is much more visible.
In 2021, Eiler got a call from an attorney representing a Lithuanian man sentenced to death with a Russian co-defendant for a series of kidnappings and murders that began in the early 2000s. The lawyer wanted to know if Eiler would be willing to serve as his spiritual advisor.
I've been Minister of Record for Yuri Kadamov for about 3 years. He is a complicated guy who did some terrible things, but he has, at least as far as I have known him, he has aged and matured and is a kindly soul.
Ministers of record have special permission to serve a prisoner's spiritual needs. For those working with someone sentenced to death, there's another commitment.
I had to consider when I was initially approached was considering being in the death chamber with him and whether I had the skills and ability to not only survive through that, but be a loving and peaceful presence for him in that moment.
Back in 2021, executions were a distant concern. President Joe Biden entered office as the first president in U.S. history to oppose capital punishment. Later that year, his Attorney General Merrick Garland issued a moratorium on federal executions. That move followed an unprecedented spree of executions carried out by the Trump administration. In 6 months, the administration executed 13 Americans, more than any president in a century, at a penitentiary in Terre Haute where all federal executions take place. But Garland's moratorium didn't come as a surprise. Biden campaigned on abolishing the federal death penalty. With less than 2 months left in office, the chances of that happening are slim, but he has options. For the 40 men on federal death row, the only hope is a commutation from a death sentence to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As the head of the executive branch, Biden has that unfettered authority. Hundreds of organizations, including Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and the American Civil Liberties Union, are calling on the president to grant clemency, not just for individual prisoners, but to everyone on death row. It would also be unprecedented, at least at the federal level. But Biden is an unprecedented president, in that none of his predecessors took office as an opponent of capital punishment.
I think it's not the only thing that's different about this process. We know so much more about how the federal death penalty has been used, particularly in the wake of the 13 executions that occurred during the previous administration.
The executions under Trump happened at a rapid pace in the middle of a pandemic and despite major unresolved issues in many of the cases. Convincing Biden to commute the death sentences of some of those remaining on death row could be a hard sell for the public. They include Dylan Roof, a white supremacist who shot and killed 9 people at an African-American church in Charlottesville. The so-called Boston bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is fighting a federal death sentence. An anti-Semitic shooter, Robert Bowers, killed 11 people at a synagogue in Pittsburgh. Death penalty abolitionists think they've identified one advantage they didn't have with previous leaders. President Biden is a practicing Catholic. The church opposes capital punishment.
I just wrote him a letter. So I had some friends who said they would get it before his eyes. In conscience, I had to do that, to try to plead with him. Whenever a human being has somebody's life in their hands and they decide if he dies or not, that used to be the divine right of kings. You bring somebody, ask for mercy for the king. And look at that. That is in our system. And he has the power to do that. And that if he doesn't use his power to save life, you know what's going to happen with Trump in there. Yeah. I mean, and so I'm appealing to him. Now is the time.
While Prejean and others hope Biden will commute all federal death sentences, attorneys representing individual federal death row prisoners are asking the Department of Justice to review and make recommendations to Biden on commutation. Federal Defender Ruth Friedman's office in Washington, D.C. is keeping track of the process.
We saw what happened under his last administration. There was an execution spree at the very end. You know, they killed people right up until President Biden's inauguration at the last day they possibly could.
Prisoners on federal death row now fear something worse is coming.
Call is from a federal prison. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from Rashad Taylor.
Rajon Taylor, who was sentenced to death for his role in the murder of a French chef in Georgia, called his spiritual advisor, Laura Lesertmer, last weekend at her home on the north side of Bloomington.
Hey, Rajon.
Taylor is among at least 27 of the 40 who have filed for executive clemency, according to a review of records by WTIU. Taylor says he's been trying to find out why so many of the other prisoners haven't applied.
One guy told me that he didn't file because he doesn't want to be old in prison. I don't think people realize that even just languishing on death row all of these years, we're just existing in like extreme deprivation. And after a period of time, it's just like, what am I doing it for? Some guys said they came here to die, so they're not even trying to file anything. And some guys also look at it like, oh, they're innocent and they're not asking for no mercy and they didn't do anything wrong. True. So again, you just have varying reasons.
After talking with Taylor, Lesertmer said he'd been struggling since election night. His best friend was among those executed in 2020.
He's like, I can't see this for my community again. I can't go through this again with them. And it just really, like, the urgency of everything kind of snowballed in that moment.
Lesertmer says that while the small community of ministers of record based in Bloomington are trying to do what they can to help the prisoners in the wake of the election result, they're also leaning on each other and finding ways to fight back.
What we can do with this despair is funnel it into action for getting Joe Biden to grant clemency or to do away with death row. Like, this is the moment.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm George Hale.
Indiana is also resuming executions. The state plans to execute Joseph Corcoran on December 18th in Michigan City. It would be the first state execution since 2009. Corcoran's attorneys have filed a stay of execution, citing his persistent paranoid schizophrenia. With an unprecedented 10-0 record, Indiana University's football team is sparking a wave of valuable national media attention for the school and a financial boost for the city of Bloomington. Elise Perry has this report.
The television images show sellout crowds and fall foliage ablaze with color. Millions of people watching on television see what a perfect fall day looks like at IU and Bloomington. Twice this season, the popular pregame shows ESPN College Game Day and Fox Big Noon Kickoff originated from campus. That put a spotlight on everything from Knicks to the new John Mellencamp statue on campus, not to mention an undefeated football team.
It's creating quite an economic impact, at least short term. Our tourism is up, our hotels are getting booked, the restaurants are packed, and the retail stores are also quite full. So we're really excited for all of those opportunities.
Visit Bloomington Executive Director Mike McAfee calls football the king of tourism in the county.
IU football in particular has always been one of the most significant tourism events in Monroe County and Bloomington, obviously, because when you get up to 53,000 people in that stadium, the impact of that is incredible.
Last weekend, head coach Curt Cignetti signed a new 8-year, $64 million contract, making him one of the highest paid coaches in the Big Ten. David Pierce, IU Indianapolis Department Chair of Tourism, Event, and Sports Management, said the contract is a necessary investment.
I mean, football is the premier sport in college football that drives everything, and you have to be competitive. And you can't be as bad as IU has been historically, and then let alone the last 3 years.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Elise Perry.
The undefeated and fifth-ranked Hoosiers face their biggest challenge of the season on Saturday when they play at second-ranked Ohio State. The winner will likely face top-ranked Oregon in the Big Ten Championship on December 7th in Indianapolis.
It's a big game for us because it's this game coming up. I mean, we treat them all alike. If there was a better way to prepare for a certain team, we'd do that for every team.
Indiana has just 12 wins overall against Ohio State and hasn't beaten the Buckeyes since 1988. IU is also a double-digit underdog for the game. These Hoosiers are having a season unlike any in history. Indiana has the nation's third-best defense and number 2 scoring offense, beating teams by an average of 30 points a game.
The only limitations on this football team would be those we put on ourselves between our ears. But this is a group of guys that do not think that way.
Saturday's game kicks off at noon on Fox. The Hoosiers wrap up the regular season next weekend when they host rival Purdue. Well, that's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.